Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 23rd. We're going to jump right in here. You have this TikTok card and this Treasure Island card. And this Treasure Island card is really nice. It's like the as above, so below card in this deck. So I do feel like there are some like good things coming in for you. I have a feeling that all three water signs are going to have messages that kind of pretty much say, get going. You have that TikTok card, which it's like saying there's something really good that you could have in your life. But it's like, if you don't get moving, then nothing is going to happen. I wouldn't say you're going to like miss out on an opportunity. I don't really truly feel we ever miss out on anything that is truly meant for us, right? But I do feel there is a little bit of a sense of urgency here in this reading, just to get you moving. So, that's what I would do. You have the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. The Queen of Cups is you. And I feel like you could be like trying to protect your heart, or you could be kind of maybe looking at what your heart wants. And, this does not have to be love, of course. This could be in work or business. It's like you're trying to create more balance in your life with the Justice card. And, I think that's what you're looking for is just more balance and more peace in your life. And it's like, she is looking at this cup. I always say that on her card, that cup, it almost looks like a trophy. It doesn't really look like a cup. So, there could be a really good opportunity or something special coming in for you here. But, I feel that right now you're just like looking at something, and I feel like you could be fearing the past, or, you could be fearing repeating a cycle as well. So like if you want love, for example, you could have your eye on a person, but you could be worried that it's just going to be a repeat of a past situation. The Nine of Swords asks you to kind of leave a comfort zone. Sometimes being in misery can be a comfort zone. Sometimes we can, try to overprotect ourselves in love, for example. And so it's like we kind of like do things to make sure that we don't truly allow new love in. And I feel like this is talking about ending self-sabotage. So, anything you can do to do that. I don't know your situation, obviously, general reading, but anything you could do to end like self-sabotage would be a really good idea with the Nine of Swords. You have the Nine of Wands here. Nine of Wands is kind of like the wounded warrior. So there's no doubt about it. I feel this like healing more that you are trying to heal, or, coming into this reading, you are in a position of trying to heal. And the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, but he kind of needs to open up. So, if you want love, I would open up here. It does look like a good love reading if you want it. If you want anything else, I would open up. This to me, sometimes I feel the Nine of Wands is a card that says, take one more swing. It says, try something one more time, and you have this Treasure Island card. So it's like, clearly there's something that you're dreaming of, or, something that you're trying to match energetically, because it is the as above, so below card in this deck. So it's like you're trying to match something in your life. Let's see. With the Nine of Wands, yes, you have the Temperance card. Temperance really says you have the power to turn any situation around. Temperance, you can turn a negative into a positive. You can also turn a positive into a negative with the Temperance card. So the choice is yours. Obviously, I would turn a positive into, or a negative into a positive. I wouldn't go the other direction. And I feel if you do that, you will be successful. I feel like you've been waiting for something as well. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords can represent rushing or hasty energy. So I would like take your time this week. I wouldn't, rush into anything necessarily. But I also do feel like something could be rushing into your life, So something is coming in. I feel like you're wondering if you're ready, or, if you're kind of like ready to take the risk, or if you're ready to take the leap of faith. This could be love. It could be a person who wants to communicate or something like that. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Five of Wands, conflicted. Yeah, I feel like you are conflicted in a situation. Really, your answer here is quite simple. It's justice. Justice says, if you are worried about an opportunity that's coming your way, put a little bit of energy into it, see what happens. If it works, if this is a person and they return energy back to you, great, keep going. If they don't, then it's time to make a change, right? So I think that this is basically saying don't overinvest, but also don't underinvest. Just put a little bit of energy in, especially if this is like a person who's approaching you. But the same thing for work or business as well. It just says like, if you're trying something new, or maybe you're wanting to try a new position, Just put a little energy in, see what happens. You have this witch card next in the area of the unexpected. It says magic, curse. You have this flowers. It says romance, sweetness on it. So I feel that there is love coming in for you. I feel like some of you do feel maybe that you are cursed in love. Like you feel like you just keep living the same story over and over and over again. But again, this to me looks like a new love story. Really, it looks like something much better. Even your second diagonal here, you go Ten of Cups, world to the Hierophant. So, the Hierophant obviously could be marriage. Ten of Cups, happy home, happy family. So there could be a very good situation coming in for you. You have the Moon, the Justice card, and the Ten of Cups. Again, the Moon is a lot of fear. So I feel like you have to let go of your fears. It's also not knowing the answers. But nobody knows the answers. Nobody can know everything. So, I feel like that's what you have to realize. The Moon, to me, is really a card that says, go down this path and get to these mountains. It basically says, challenge yourself to do something that's maybe like a little bit scary, and overcome the obstacle, because if you do that, that's where growth comes from. Most people just live their lives stopping right here, stopping on the moon. They just stay stuck in fear. They don't actually like do something to get through it, right? So then they stay stuck in fear because they don't do anything to get through the fear. And, that's what I would do here. It's like fear only becomes bigger. It's like when we avoid things that we're afraid of, it just becomes worse and worse and worse. It makes our life worse and worse and worse. So I feel like this is saying it's like time to overcome that. You have the Justice card. Justice is a card of equal give and take. So, again, if you are entering into a situation where you are fearing the situation in general, I would say that equal give and take is going to be very, very important for you, or just kind of like, giving in, in balance would be a really good idea. It's like, I kind of get the feeling that the universe is trying to balance things out for you in this reading. And it's like saying, the universe is saying that you need to believe that you deserve good things, number one. But I also feel you need to kind of like let go of some fears with that Justice card. You have the Ten of Cups. So again, Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty. Can represent happy home, happy family as well. I do feel that there definitely could be a very solid connection coming in for you with this card. So, if you want love, I feel there could be a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you. The Ten of Cups also encourages you to focus on happiness. Again, these people are standing in the real world, but they're choosing to focus on those 10 cups. I think, which, I think is super important at this time. There's going to be a lot of craziness over the next, 10 years at least, right? I talk about it all the time. And it's like your job to focus on the opposite. With the Moon, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yes, same thing. Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. So I think your solution is very simple. If you're worried that you're not going to get what you want from a situation, or if you're worried that things aren't going to work out for you, or if you're worried that you can't have the things that you want in life, Six of Pentacles is, Six of Pentacles again talks about equal give and take. It just says, make sure that you are giving in balance. Six of Pentacles is also my card of just giving something a solid chance, It says it's a card of planting seeds, and it says put some energy out there. Especially if you're working on a new project, it says, plant a couple of seeds, see what grows, see what doesn't, focus on what grows, get rid of the rest. And so it's kind of like an energy of, seeing, focusing on what works. Let's put it that way. And same with the Justice card as well. And with the Justice card, what do you know? You have the Empress here. You have the Empress and the Emperor. So definitely could be a divine counterpart coming in for you. Or you could have your eye on a person who is your divine counterpart. Empress, she does give equally. The other thing about the Empress that nobody talks about is that she is very balanced. There's normally a waterfall flowing behind her, and the waterfall is actually connected to the tower in the tarot. Waterfalls represent chaos. It's like, if you think about it, if you're at the bottom of a waterfall, you would be getting tossed around all over the place. So it's like she understands that she is in control of her destiny. She understands that she can create the abundance that is in front of her, but she also understands that there will always be chaos. That waterfall that's over her shoulder, and so it's like she understands that things can always go wrong, things will always happen, but she says she will roll with the punches, basically. Temperance. She practices temperance. She practices using her powers of manifestation. So again, she can turn positive into negative. She can turn a negative into a positive if she wants. So there you go. But again, I also feel like someone finds you very attractive here. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Could be an earth sign coming in for you. I mean, you have basically everything here. You literally have earth, water, fire. So, you have pretty much everything. And, could be any sign that's coming in for you. But again, I feel this Queen of Pentacles is also talking about resourcefulness. Like, it's like, have you learned like what you can give, in a situation? Have you learned from how to be resourceful in relationships as well? It's like, trust me, I get comments all the time about people who are always like, I'm never going to be in a relationship again because of what this past person did to me. I'm like, all you're saying, you're saying two things. Number one, that someone is living your life for you now. Great. It's like you just gave the person who hurt you control over your life. How does that feel? Number two, you're saying that you didn't learn anything from the situation. So it's like, I have no sympathy for that, especially for adults. Sorry. Yes, I'm being a hard ass right now, right? But it's like, if you haven't learned, it's like, then you have to go look at the situation and say, what did I miss? What didn't I see? Again, and trust me, it's like every single person. It's like I always say, it's like as I've gotten older, it's like I've realized every single person I've been in a relationship with, love and otherwise, pretty much has told me exactly what is going to happen in the relationship, whatever it is, before it happened. So it's like, I just haven't listened. So it's like, now that I'm old, right? And now I listen to what people say. And if they say something weird, it's like I don't necessarily leave the person, but I might be like, that's a little weird. I'm going to pay attention to that next time, right? Or I'm going to pay attention to that and see what happens. And, again, if they continue to do weird stuff, then they're out of my life, plain and simple. And, that's what the Queen of Pentacles says. It says, can you be resourceful? Can you be smart and, look at the things and not try to fix a person, right? It's like, or not try to get into some weird situation. Can you be a better breaker-upper, which I think we all need to be better breaker-uppers because we all stay in things that clearly aren't working for too long. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this beaver spirit says, lay a solid foundation. You have this eagle spirit says, spirit has your back. So there you go. I feel like there could be a solid foundation coming in with a person, but this could also be anything that you're working on. The eagle kind of represents a little bit of taking a risk. So, the whole point of the eagle is that eagles fly very high in the sky. It's like the mythology of the eagle is that they can see very far, but they can't see around the curve of the earth. And we have the world here. So it kind of says like, you don't know what's coming around the next bend, right? But the eagles are, like brave and they go around the earth anyway. And so it's funny that you have the world here. And I feel like this is saying, you can never really truly know all the answers. You can never be 110% protected from, what could come in life. But that's the whole point of life. Life is a journey. And, I would just embrace the journey is what this world is kind of saying. I do feel like there's like an accomplishment coming in for you with the world card. The world can represent accomplishing something great, and, that's what I feel like you're doing. That Treasure Island card that you have at the beginning of the reading is, like, again, as above, so below. So, I really feel you could be manifesting your dreams here on Earth, if you kind of face some sort of fear here. It's, pretty obvious to me. You could also be attracting an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo. You have the King of Wands here. King of Wands about being bold and assertive and really going for what you want. Pretty much every single person that I read for the past year has been getting this energy. I think that it's just like a bold, assertive time. It's like, I think by the time we get to the 2033, a lot of people, we're going to see a lot of people who just twiddled their thumbs and did nothing basically except for, worry about every little thing that's going on in the world. And they just are not going to get anywhere. So don't be one of those people. Be bold, be assertive, go towards your dreams. Like, now is the time to manifest something crazy or create something crazy in the world, but you have to go for it. You have this death card. Death can represent some sort of transformation. So I do feel like there could be a big transformation that's coming in for you here with the death card. I also feel that you're entering into a sun period. Right back here are the two pillars from the moon, and the sun is coming up between those two pillars. You have the moon card here, and then you have the death card. So it's kind of like you're entering into a happier period of your life, which we see with the Ten of Cups as well. Pretty straightforward stuff going on here. Let's see. With the King of Wands, you have the star. Yes. Excuse me. You could be attracting a star, like someone who really stands out, someone who gets a lot of attention here. So, you're definitely attracting someone who gets a lot of attention, or you get a lot of attention. I mean, look, if you're the Empress, then, I feel like both people really. It's like maybe the two of you together will get a lot of attention. It doesn't really surprise me that this stuff is coming up. I mean, Pisces had a very similar love reading today as well, where it just seemed like they were attracting someone more like power couple type of vibe here. You have the same thing. I'm not saying it could be a Pisces. You have the Hangman Moon, but it could be any sign. But what I'm saying is, it seems to me like water signs in general just could be attracting the right person. The star is also a card of like working on some sort of dream. With the world, you have the King of Cups. Excuse me. The King of Cups is a card of your, it can be a card of love. You have the Queen of Cups here, so definitely could be a divine counterpart coming in for you. But, I also feel that you have the World, and the King of Cups to me can be a clue card. There are some cards in the tarot that I call clue cards. Clue cards are just cards that can represent a clue to something else, and with the World here, it could be a move. And you have the Death card as well. I don't know, just like putting this all together. Some of you could be thinking about moving. With the Death card, you have the Lovers. Definitely love coming in for you. This would be a very solid connection, obviously. It's funny, even if we go this way, Empress, Lovers to the Emperor. So, it's all connected. Definitely could be attracting a divine counterpart here. I feel like it's going to change your life, really. I mean, maybe you have to move to be with this person. Maybe you just both upgrade each other, in some way. So, that will change your life. Whatever this is kind of like a life-changing in general. At the end here for the good stuff, you have a strategy card. Says, becoming more strategic to succeed in the long term. I'm a big fan of strategy. I think it's no mistake, for example, that, the Seven of Swords comes up a lot in my readings. Two of Swords as well. These are kind of cards of strategy. Seven of Swords, because the guy is stealing those swords from the army in the background. Two of Swords, there's a third place behind her. Two of Swords is my third place solution card. I think third place solutions will save the world, maybe, if people actually get their ass moving on their third place solution. So again, if you have some sort of crazy idea that doesn't exist yet, that's like a third place solution. This card says, I promise it does get better. Yes, I think people, it's like we're in a weird time. I think people need to realize that things are going to improve. Things are going to get better. It's not always going to be like this. It's like every generation has, some sort of weird time like this, so I think that's what people need to realize. You have the Hierophant, the Emperor, and the Hangman. Very spiritual stuff going on here, so there could be a very spiritual connection coming in for you. Hierophant is marriage, and I do feel like you could be meeting a person that you could be marrying in the future. I also feel like you need to ground something in reality here with the Hierophant. The Hierophant is like outside the box thinking, or needing to think outside the box. But coming up in the good stuff, it could say that you are thinking outside the box, and that's kind of like what I feel like you're doing here. With the Emperor here, I feel like you are taking control of your reality. I also feel this could be your divine counterpart coming in for you. I would say that you're attracting someone who is like a real action taker. And, again, the Emperor is like an action taker. He's ready to go at a moment's notice as well. So it's probably a person who doesn't really, I think this is a person who they don't like overly plan. They might, the funny thing is, if what's popping into my head is if there's one thing that really makes you nervous about this person is I think that on the outside, it kind of looks like they just take random risk where it's like they don't really think before they do something. But I think this is what makes them very successful is the fact that it's like, on one hand, I think they make a lot of mistakes. On the other hand, I feel they also have a lot of big, huge victories in their life because it's like they don't play it safe, but it's like this is like a good thing. I think this person understands that life isn't safe in the first place. It's like, I always tell people all the time, like, you ever watch that show 100 Ways to Die? It's like people die doing like the most random weird stuff where no one dies, right? Like, so it's like you could die by, I don't know, being allergic to something you were allergic to, and then you fall over and croak because something happened, right? So, again, I think this person kind of lives life to the fullest. I think they don't worry about things too much. On one hand, it seems risky, but on the other hand, I think they have the goods to back it up. You have the Hangman here. The Hangman is enlightenment. Again, you could be becoming aware of a person. Sometimes I think the Hangman is like waiting, he's sacrificed movement, but now he's becoming aware of like some sort of opportunity or like a person that could be entering his life for love. Let's see. With the Hierophant here, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles, card of independence. So, again, some of you could be working on your independence or feeling very independent, but Nine of Pentacles is really a card of success. Like, I really feel there is a lot of abundance, a lot of success coming in for you. Pre-Empress energy as well. It's the card of gratitude and luxury. So I would make sure to be grateful, for the good things that you have. With the Emperor here, you have the Chariot. This could involve a move. World, King of Cups, Emperor, Chariot. So you could be meeting a person from a distance, and again, I don't really see it as being a problem because this last row, these last two rows are basically your future. I read future outcome, and so that would tell me that you're moving or someone's going to move. For others, whatever you're taking action on, this is hard control. The Emperor really takes control. The Chariot says, is about taking hard control, like really controlling a situation. And so there's like some sort of victory coming in for you. With the Hangman, what do you know? You have the Two of Swords. Are you kidding? I knew I was talking about that for a reason. Hangman, seeing things from a new perspective. A new perspective could be bringing you a new solution to something that you're dealing with. So, I really feel there's, I talked about the Seven of Swords and Two of Swords for a reason, because, I feel like there's a lot of success if you look at things from a different perspective. You have this Rose card. It says romance is in the air. Duh. We kind of know that already. You have basically two cards of romance with roses on them as well. You have this wall. It says misunderstandings. I also happen to know that this card, it says trouble accusations. I'm kind of getting here that if you are meeting a new person, I feel like I've said this to you before. I swear. It's almost like you could get a message from a person, but it could be the person you're meeting. It could be their person, and they could be trying to mess things up. So I would go directly to the person you're dating. I wouldn't just trust some random past if someone comes in and is like, oh, I'm their ex, their player, they cheat and all this other stuff. I think that it might not be true. Is kind of like what I'm getting here. Obviously, it's like this person could be like freaking crazy, their past person. So I don't know, it's popping into my head some sort of weird story about like if you're meeting a new person, their past person interrupts all their relationships and it just can't let them go. So I would go directly to the person for the story. I wouldn't be indirect here. You have this broom. It says new home, new attitude. Clearly some sort of moving. Some of you are moving, and I feel it's going to be good for you. You have this cat. It says a two-faced friend. I would just be careful of like a two-faced person in general here. I'm going to pull some extra cards because that's basically all the same thing. You have this table. It says hard work ahead. Yes, definitely. I feel like there's a lot of success in you working on new things. You have this dagger. It says fears, worries, tense situation. Again, I would avoid this. Again, if you have like a weird situation like that where someone's ex is coming in and telling you stories, I would go directly to the person, plain and simple. I think they're a liar, probably not true. So there you go. This looks amazing. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your week.